Hey guys, hope you're having a wonderful break and I hope you're ready to practice. We've got some pretty cool stuff coming up with diddles. Just at the beginning, I just want to say this is not about speed, okay? It's not how fast you can play your diddles, it's the quality of them. So we have a goal tempo that's set, but if you can't make the goal tempo, don't stress out too much. What I'm worried about is you having a good quality in diddles and that you're understanding the mechanics of the diddles, okay? So we've got a lesson over diddles, we got practice over diddles, and then we've got some play-alongs out of this book. And if you don't have this book, don't worry about it. I'm gonna put the music up on the screen so you can take a snapshot of it, or you can just have the video playing and play along with me. And then at the end of the video, we're gonna talk about prizes. Got some pretty cool stuff, but for right now, let's go to diddles. All right, so first step is, what is a diddle? What is a double stroke? Essentially, a diddle or a double stroke is a right hand followed by another right hand, or a left hand followed by another left hand. So you get right, right, left, left, right, right, left, left. That's essentially what a diddle is. Now, tempos vary, but when you get faster, the way your hands move and interact with the stick, that changes slightly as well. So let's talk about how diddles are notated. A lot of times you're going to see something like this. Now in this rhythm, you've got eighth notes with a slash through them. So it gives you a bass rhythm, in this case eighth notes, 1, te, 2, te, 3, te, 4, te. But it puts a slash through it. So what the slash does is it tells you that for each eighth note, you're going to double it. So I'm going to play a bar of regular eighths, nothing to them, and then a bar of the diddled eighth notes. One, two, three, four. So I played regular eighth notes, as we all know, 1, te, 2, te, 3, te, 4, te. And then in that second bar, I added the slash, or the diddle. My hands were still moving like I was playing eighth notes. That's the really cool thing about diddles, is your hand speed doesn't change. 1, te, 2, te, 3, te, 4, te. That stays consistent the entire time. What you do change is the way your fingers interact with the stick to get the double bounce. So let's talk about that real quick. How do we get that double bounce? So I want you to think about like you're dribbling a basketball. Kind of that motion right there. And get your stick, right? And when you hit the pad, play full strokes. Nice and relaxed, full strokes. Then what you're going to do after that is start applying a little bit of pressure to this middle finger right here, or your fulcrum. So then you take that full stroke and you're condensing it down to 2 strokes, and you're controlling that with your fingers. So full strokes, and a little bit of pressure. You should get something like that. Now a lot of times the first time you try this, you're probably going to get a diddle that sounds a little bit like this. Sounds really forced and really crushed. So the way we fix that is just relax, use this space. Don't be scared to use the space. I don't want you to, try to play diddles down here. Use the space, okay? And you just have to find that sweet spot of applying just the right amount of pressure. If you apply too much, or if you try to use these back fingers, that's when you get the choppy diddles like that. Now, if you're getting 2 bounces, but when you put your hands together, that's essentially what your diddles are going to sound like, and that's not what we want. We want it to be really open, really full, nice and relaxed. Okay? So try that on your own. Pause the video and just do your right hand, and then go to your left hand. Do full strokes, and then try to get that nice double bounce. Then do your left hand, full strokes. And try to get that really open, nice bounce. Now the next thing we're going to talk about is what you do when you get faster. Okay, so like I played earlier, I played just the set of eighth notes with nothing to them, and then the set of eighth notes with the diddle, with the slash. Now when you talk about kind of the subdivision side of it. So whenever you're playing the diddles or the eighth notes with the diddles with the slash, essentially it should sound the same as you playing sixteenths. 1 ta ta ta, 2 ta ta ta, 3 ta ta ta, 4 ta ta ta. Because like we mentioned earlier, the slash tells you to add 2 bounces or 2 subdivisions. And we all know that 2 sixteenths fit into 1 eighth note. So I'm going to play a bar of straight eighth notes, nothing to them, a bar of diddled eighth notes, and then a bar of sixteenths. So then really listen to how the diddled eighth notes and the sixteenths line up in their sound. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sixteenths. And hopefully you can hear that. When I played the diddled eighth notes and then went into sixteenths, there wasn't really any change. It just all sounded like da 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 da, which is exactly what you want. And in any case, whenever you have a diddled note, you basically play the subdivision up. So when we have our tree like we do in class, whole note splits into 2 half notes. Each half note splits into 2 quarter notes. Each quarter note splits into 2 eighth notes. Each eighth note splits into 2 sixteenths. So what I'm going to do now is to take a little bit further. We're going a little bit further in our tree. I'm going to play a bar of 16th notes. Nothing to them, just regular 16th notes. And then I'm going to play a bar of diddled 16th notes. And then I'm going to play a bar of 32nd notes, which is the next subdivision in our tree. Now, you don't have to learn this, you don't have to practice this right now. I'm just showing you another example to apply this to. So this is the 16th with the diddles. 1, 2, 3, 4. So hopefully you can hear that. The 16th diddled notes sounded exactly the same as the 32nd notes. There was hardly any difference right there. That's exactly what you want whenever we're doing these diddled eighth notes and 16ths. And that's a really good way to check yourself. If you think, oh, I'm playing these eighth notes, I'm not sure if they sound exactly like diddled eighth notes, play 16th notes. Go from diddled eighth notes to 16th notes. And if they sound the same, then you're doing it right. That's a really good exercise to do, and we'll get to more of that in the practice session later. Another thing that's really important to talk about is as you get faster, it becomes less about your wrist and more about your fingers. And we've talked about that in class a little bit. Whenever you're going slow, the diddles, right, right, left, left, right, right, left, left, you can get those out just by muscling them out in your wrist. But as you get faster, you can't really do that. If you start trying to go like 120 and just using your wrist, it's really stressful and it sounds like garbage. It sounds disgusting, right? So what we want is them to sound really good. So as you get faster, like I was mentioning earlier, you get 1 motion with your wrist and 2 bounces. That's how you're able to move faster. And the faster you go, the more pressure you're going to have to apply to get those diddles. Now get exercise to kind of help yourself know where that tipping point is, or that turning point is to start slow, play diddles. You don't have to play to a metronome or anything because we're going to gradually speed this up. Start slow and use your wrist, and then as you get faster, there comes a point where you have to use your fingers. There's no longer where you can't muscle it out and use your wrist. So let's try that. You don't have to play with me right now. This is just an example. If you want to play with me, that's fine. but no set tempo. Just start slow and then get fast. Right, right, left, left. Remember to stay relaxed. Now, you're not going to be able to play those that fast yet, but that's a really good exercise even for you right now to do. Even if you only get up to this fast, that's okay. Do this every day, and I guarantee you your diddles will get better and better and better. Any practice is good practice. So if you're watching this right now and you don't have sticks, that's okay. Get your hands, play on your leg, do something, okay? Any practice is good practice. This is good stuff. Translate. It gets your hands a little bit looser, okay? And you work those muscles in there so you're able to play faster. So let's move on to the practice portion of this video. Hopefully all that made sense to you. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take this rhythm right here. We're going to practice going from straight eighths to diddled eighth notes. And we're going to gradually speed that up. And we're going to start at 70, and we're going to try to work our way up to 110, which is our goal tempo. Okay? So, this is the part where you get your practice pad. You can play along with me. This is 70 BPM. Think about your eighth notes. And 1, 2, ready, go. Repeat. Remember to stay relaxed. Now if that's still a little bit tough for you, don't be afraid to rewind, play that over and over and over again until you can get it. But for right now, we're going to move up to 80 BPM. Remember, when the metronome starts, think about your eighth notes. Subdivide. 1, 2, take, ready, go. Now same thing with this one. If you really nailed the 70 BPM but you're having a little bit of trouble with this one, don't be afraid to repeat this. And if you don't get to the goal tempo today, that is okay. This is meant for 2 whole weeks of practice, okay? So if you don't get to 110 by the first time you watch this video, that's okay, right? So if you're still stuck on 80 BPM for the next few days, that is okay. Just keep working, practice every day, and I guarantee you by the end of the 2 weeks, you can get to 110. All right, let's move on to 190. Just realized I said 190. 90. I'm not trying to go 190. Think about your eighth notes. 1, 2, ready, go. Good. And same thing with 90. If you're struggling with 90, keep practicing it. Maybe go back to 80. Go back and forth. That always helps. All right, let's go to 100. Remember, it's really important to stay relaxed, especially the faster we go, you have to release that tension and not be tense. Be really relaxed. Remember, one motion. And if your elbow moves a little bit, I know sometimes we talk about our movement and how bad it is, but with diddles, sometimes you need that extra little power, right? So if you're moving from here, that's okay. What we don't want is this. See how I'm not moving my wrist at all? That's bad. Then that causes a lot of tension up here in your shoulder and out through your arm. But you can move your elbow a little bit, okay? Just make sure that you're still moving your wrist and that your fingers are doing their job as well, okay? All right, 110. This is our goal tempo, 110. Yay, if you made it, that is awesome. If you didn't, don't worry about it. Keep working on this every single day. And by the end of the 2 weeks, I guarantee you, you're going to make it to 110. Just got to practice every day. This is something that doesn't go away even after we get back from break. This is stuff that you should be working on every single day. Even if it's just for about 5-10 minutes, that's fine. Okay? If you keep working on this every day, percussion is built on single strokes and double strokes. So if you get your double strokes really good, then you're going to have a really fun time learning new music and fun music and hard music. Okay, now, I said 110 was our goal tempo, which it is, but I will give you a crisp high five when we get back, if you can play it at 120. So I'll give you a few bars at 120, just so you can practice it, and if you can play it at 120, I will give you the crispest, is that a word? Crispiest? I don't know, but you'll get a crisp high five from me when we get back. This is 120. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nice. If you did that, awesome. Can't wait to hear it. And just remember that whenever you're doing the diddles, your hand speed stays the same. And you can probably see that in the video whenever I'm playing it. 1 tay, 2 tay, 3 tay, 4 tay. My hands are still moving like eighth notes. It just so happens that I'm doubling them. Okay, just toss them in there. Alright, next thing we're going to do is we're going to do some playthroughs of the etudes in this book. Again, if you don't have it, don't worry about it. I'll stick a copy of it on the screen so you can take a snapshot of it, or you can play along with me. I'm going to be playing it at 3 different tempos, 80, 90, and 100. So whatever spot you're in on your practice with your diddles, there's going to be a tempo for you with these etudes. And this is going to be how I'm going to check your diddles when we get back from break. So you're going to play one of these, or both if you want to, for me, and then I'm going to see where your diddles are, how they check out. Okay, so let's start with page 19, number 9, or rudimental etude number 4. This is going to be at 80 BPM. 1, 2, 3, Here's the same etude at 90 BPM. Alright, here's the same etude at the last tempo, 100 BPM. Alright, this next one is on page 17, rudimental etude number 3. We're going to start at 80 BPM, but there's a few things you need to look out for this one. We're in 2/4, okay? So we got 2 beats per measure, and there's 2 sets of repeats in this one. So really watch out for those. There's a few funky syncopated rhythms in the second line, and then all of our stickings. So make sure you work through this one on your own, look at those things, and then hit up these play-alongs, okay? So let's start this first one at 80 BPM. 1, 2, 1. Now, rudimental etude number 3 at 90 BPM. 1, 2, 1, 2. And finally, rudimental etude number 3 at 100 BPM. 1, 2, 1, 2. Yay, you made it to the end. Remember, if you didn't get to the goal tempo in any of these, don't worry. This is a 2-week practice video, so take your time. Make sure your diddles sound good. It's not about speed. If you don't make it to 110, that's okay. If you don't make it to 100 on those etudes, that's okay. All right, I'm just concerned with how good your diddles sound, that you know how to get a good sound, and that you can determine that it's a good sound. So let's talk about prizes. I've got really cool practice pads. This one you can put on your knee, has a little strap. You strap it to your knee. You can play anywhere. You don't have to worry about a table. You don't have to worry about a chair. Boom, you just sit down, practice pad. Really cool. And then I have these two from Zildjian. Some really cool designs. They're little 6-inch pads. This one has got Galaxy design. This one's kind of like a graffiti street art design. And these are really cool because you can play them on a table, or they've got the little strip in there. So you can put it onto your practice pad stand that we use in class. So these are really cool, really fun to play on. And these are all from Sweetwater Music. Really cool place if you ever want to shop for sticks or practice pads. They have really cool stuff there. And they send you candy in a little bag when you buy stuff from them. They're really cool. I have some other prizes that haven't come in yet. Little shakers, I've told you guys about them, drumstick keychains, fun stuff like that. And there might be some gift cards in the works if I can't get some other stuff. But this is really cool stuff and it's really beneficial to you. I wanted to get stuff that you would use in class and as a percussionist. I really hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you practice. Okay, so practice for these 2 weeks. When we come back, you guys are going to be diddle monsters, and I'm so excited to hear it and to see it. If you have any questions on anything, you can put a comment, and I can answer it in the comments, or if there's a lot, then I'll make another video. But just make sure you practice. Remember, any practice is good practice. There's no excuse. If you don't have your sticks, use your hands. Okay? All right. See you guys when you come back to school. Bye.